forth with on Windows desktops, Windows 8 desktops, are you going to have secure boot modifiable? And it's unclear. It looks like it's going to be up to the manufacturer. If they don't let you disable it, it looks like you're going to have to blame the manufacturer.
Right.
HP, Sony, whoever else. But on tablets, Windows 8 tablets, you can directly blame Microsoft for locking in that hardware, because in their license agreement, to be able to sell a tablet with Windows 8 on it, you have to have secure boot on, you have to have it enabled, and it cannot be disableable. Disableable. Yeah, disableable.
Well, that's silly. That's pretty silly.
It is, but I honestly, it's silly. I understand why they're doing it. They want to own that market. They want to own that market. They want to make sure that when you buy a Windows device, it will only ever in its lifetime be a Windows device.
Yep, that's what they want.
Yeah. So I'll have to find an unlocked device. That's all I'd say.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Jonathan. Again, totally, I totally duplicate what you're saying. Next is an email from Born Twisted. He says, Born Twisted says, "Hi guys, you mentioned Word Grinder, and I thought I'd make another suggestion for an app that cuts down on the distractions and lets you just write. Focus Writer, and it's from gotcode.org. That's gottcode.org/focuswriter. Focus Writer is a full-screen writing program designed to be distraction-free. You can customize your environment by changing the font colors and background image to add ambiance. Focus Writer features an on-the-fly updating word count, optional autosave, optional daily goals, and toolbars that hide away to allow you to focus more clearly. Additionally, when you open the program, your current work in progress will automatically load and position you at the end of your document so that you can immediately jump back in. I'm running Mint 12, and it was available in the repos. Hope that proves useful to you and your listeners. Great show, and keep up the good work. Thank you, Born Twisted."
Absolutely. And it does look like it is a cross-platform tool. Maybe not. Yes, I'm sorry. Windows XP, Vista 7, Mac OS X, 10.5 Intel, or Arch, CentOS, Debian, Wheezy, Fedora OBS, don't know, Gentoo, Mandriva, OpenSUSE, OS2, PortableApps.com even, and Ubuntu. I really honestly like the fact that it's full screen, because then I can't even see the little icons flashing at me in the bar.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
He actually writes a follow-up that says, "My bad. Focus Writer isn't in the Mint repos. I'd completely forgotten I'd added the PPA, which is available on their page. Too many late tech nights." So it's not in the repos. What's the PPA again, Dor?
Private Personal Package Archive.
What does it do?
Which basically means, imagine, if you will, you have your Android device or your iOS device and you're only connected to that market. Imagine if you could say, I want to be connected to the Podnutz market. It's basically adding a little nub on your package system, so now you can get an app from this other source.
I see. Thank you.
No problem.
Thank you, Born Twisted. And this next one's from Mark. He says, is there any chance in getting Dor to talk about the problems with Ubuntu 11.10 and wireless Wi-Fi problems? It seems that every time I upgrade to a newer version of Ubuntu, I lose sound or wireless capabilities and even reconfigure Bluetooth to pair up. Thank you both for being there. Ask and listen too. With best regards, Mark Powell. Thank you very much, Mark. Dor, what do you say about that?
Don't upgrade. Sorry, but I mean, really, that's the truth.
If you got it working, just leave it alone?
Well, there's no problem with loading up a new live CD of the next distro to see if stuff works. Honestly, that's cool. I understand. I mentioned it last podcast, don't get, what'd you call it, Steve? Shiny-itis or something? When you always want the latest and the greatest?
For recording gear?
Yeah.
They call it gear acquisition syndrome.
Gotcha. Well, that's what this is. This is distro acquisition syndrome.
Okay.
Don't feel like you have to upgrade all the time. If you're on 10.04, you have at least another full year of support. You're going to keep getting updated packages. You're going to keep getting updates. You can always go in and add PPAs to do specific installs that you want to do. Don't feel the need, especially with video drivers. They are changing a lot in Ubuntu, a whole lot. And they just announced 1204 is going to be again on a CD, which means they had to throw out even more drivers and stuff to make sure it fit on a CD. Which means some people's video cards, some people's Wi-Fi cards, some people's other stuff will just randomly not work in this.
I see. That's a shame.
I know. Try it in a live CD. Make sure it works. Don't just blindly do an update.
And they should put it on DVDs. Come on.
Well, they should give you the choice. Do you want a CD or do you want the whole shebang DVD?
Right. All right. Next one is from Steve, who writes to Steve and Steve on the show. He says, just wanted to let you know what a great podcast you have. I recently found you while looking for podcasts to load into Stitcher to listen to on my way to work. I've set up an older laptop with Ubuntu Linux, and I've been playing around with it, but your podcast has really showed me what I could do with Linux, or at least what I can do with it once I learn more about it. The terminal takes me back to good old DOS, which I miss. Some things are simple enough without Windows and checkboxes to gum up the works. Things have come a long way since TRS-80s and cassette tape drives. Thanks for a great podcast. I learned so much. I have to listen twice sometimes. And you defeated the purpose of Stitcher. I go straight to your podcast and listen to it rather than let Stitcher stream my podcast playlist. Now I have to add some of the podcasts you talk about to try them out as well. Thanks again.
Oh,
it's from Steve.
Man, I mentioned like 5 tonight. I'm sorry, Steve. I swear I didn't do that on purpose.
That's awesome. Thanks a lot for that email, Steve. I'm glad you're enjoying the show. It's fully appreciated. And I know Door brings the goods week after week on a consistent basis, like I say.
I just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yep.
Last email is from Jonathan. He says, not Jonathan Nato, another Jonathan. He says, a friend asked me advice on Linux. The paperweight in question is a free, quote, free laptop he got from Dish Network.
Oh.
It's a 400 megahertz CPU. Ouch. A sort of thumb drive thing in place, a sort of thumb drive think in place of a hard drive is what he says. It's a 400 megahertz CPU, a sort of thumb drive think in place of a hard drive. Kind and embedded is, in my friend's words, as is he could not get out of its own way. My question to you, oh great Linux wizard, is which Linux that can run off a thumb drive do you recommend? Thanks for your help. Keep up the podcast. I listen to Android App Addicts, Droid Nation, Linux for the Rest of Us, and Android Buffet. I'm going to ROM my Evo 4G, and I found a way to... I'm going to re-ROM my Evo 4G, and I found a way to run Ubuntu on it. I'm even thinking about learning to program. Any books I should look at? Thanks with your help. I rooted my first Evo. I got hooked. And that is from Jonathan. Jonathan, thanks a lot. Sorry if I butchered your email a little bit there. But Dor actually responded to this email because I forwarded it to him. But Dor, you could talk about what you said.
Man, 400 megahertz, dude. You're really trying. You're pushing. You're really stretching it here, man.
Totally.
That's a lot. And then it sounds like what he has is a compact flash disk instead of a hard drive.
I got you.
Just to have the chipset driver for that drive, that connector on the motherboard, man.
Why do you think it's compact flash?
Well, because that's the only thing I can think that he could say is like thumb drive, hard drive.
I'm thinking it's a one of those crappy netbooks, but I could be wrong. Like the crappy $100 netbooks.
Yeah, well, I mean, man.
Either way.
Yeah, he can try to run Puppy.
Okay.
Which still might be too heavy for it. Might go too slow.
Okay.
Or the other one is SLIDADS. And here's the thing. If you want to read a little bit, learn a little bit, and have something lighter than Puppy, sorry, Puppy lovers, I think it's lighter than Puppy. SLIDADS, to me, seems measurably lighter than Puppy and a little bit more dynamic than Puppy in what you can do.
All right.
But even if you do get a Linux installed, you have to realize you're not going to be able to do a lot on that netbook. No flash. I don't even think playing videos would be acceptable. You could stream audio.
So you can just
do
boot it up and just look at the desktop.
And run text editors, maybe.
Okay.
I mean, I really don't know what you can do on it, but you can try to run Slit as. To be honest, if you look in the notes for episode 81, you're going to see a link to some good books. There was 1 or 2 coding books in there. I think they could be really helpful. And I did see the Evo 4G thing with Ubuntu. I'm not completely clear. It is a native Ubuntu install, or it's that hybrid, both of them running at the same time thing I've seen. But if it is full-blown Ubuntu, I don't know if you can use the phone feature in it.
I see.
Yeah.
That would be a bummer.
Yeah, well, he can try. Please let me know if he does and how it worked out for him.
Yes. Thanks for answering them, Dor.
No problem.
And that is it for the emails, voicemails, and other mails. We said we've gotten paper mail too. People have sent us letters. No, it's not true. Not true.
Say.
No geek in their right mind should use snail mail ever again. All right. That's it. That is all the stuff for tonight. Dor, where can people find you and anything else you want to say to the folks?
If you want to catch up on any of the 7 podcasts I did last week or any other podcast I do, doortodoorgeek.com. I highly encourage you, podnutz.com/deals. Right? Deals. Yes.
Yes.
I kept forgetting it was plural or not. Podnutz.com/deals. Besides getting good deals on stuff, you would be supporting the guy who's giving you a lot of free video and audio every week, kind of thing.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that, Dor.
No problem. You do a lot for us, Steve. That's all I gotta say.
It all comes around in a big sharing circle. So I want to say thanks. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
No, totally. We can wait till after the show.
Okay. What I want to say is, if you want to send us a voicemail, send it to mail@podnutz.com. If you want to send us, did I get that wrong again? If you want to send us an email, send it to mail@podnutz.com. If you want to send us a voicemail, send it to 7076-PODNUT. Call that number on a phone, and you will get to us, and we will play it on the show. And I want to thank everybody for downloading, streaming, however you're getting the content. Hope you're enjoying it. And that's going to be it for Linux for the rest of us for this week, and we'll see you next time.